So let's talk a little bit about time and energy vampires. I've been talking about those before. I've actually written lots of emails about them before. I've done lots and lots of videos about them before. And this is sort of like a revisit about, a revisit about time and energy vampires from the perspective of persuasion, really. Because, number one, we all have them in our lives. The time and energy vampires. The people who bother us, who nag, who moan, bitch, vent, complain, criticize, all that kind of stuff. So recently, and this is quite hilarious, recently there was a study released in some scientific journal or some scientific magazine. I don't remember. But the study was so obvious. It's so painfully obvious. Yet I feel I still have to comment on it. The study basically concluded that if you're around people who are bothersome, who nag, bitch, vent, moan, and complain, the energy vampires, then your life and your health will deteriorate. No shit, Sherlock. If you're around people who criticize you all the time, you're gonna feel bad. But also, this was actually kind of interesting. So the study suggested that with every person who bothered you, with every time and energy vampire you had in your life, you would, on average, age 9 months. That is, your biological age would increase by 9 months. So let's say you had 2 energy vampires in your life, but then your biological age would over time increase by 18 months. That's pretty crazy. Now, if you think out loud, let me do a quick calculation here. 10 years is 120 months. So if I have 10 energy vampires, that's 90 months. Almost 10 years. Pretty crazy. So if I have 10 people who nag, bitch, vent, and complain around me all the time, it means that I'm aging almost 10 years. Pretty crazy, pretty wild. And of course, it's gonna give me a lot of stress. Also, I'm gonna get a higher degree of inflammation. My organs could potentially fail, and life is just miserable. These are all things we knew, really, but now we have scientific evidence that might be the case, which is the whole point of this study, really, because everybody knows that these time and energy vampires are awful to be around, and the worst of them are those in your family, right? Because you're around them all the time, and you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family, is the expression, which is pretty true. Now, what's the solution to all of this? Well, the solution is, of course, to cut them loose ruthlessly and systematically, without remorse and without feeling guilty, because that's what they want. They want you to feel guilty. And see, that's their way of persuading you. They're persuading you through guilt. They're trying to make you feel guilty, which is wrong and bad and unethical and immoral. But that's what they're doing. Instead of persuading you through charm, which is what they should be doing, they should make you like them, just like you should make other people like you. But no, they wanna persuade you through guilt. They want to make you feel bad if you don't do what they're telling you to. And that's wrong. And you shouldn't feel bad for wanting to get away from that. Whether it's a toxic spouse or parents, a sibling, a bothersome colleague, your boss at work, maybe your neighbor, who knows? The point is, you shouldn't feel bad for wanting to get away from those people, because persuading somebody through guilt is wrong, it's immoral, it's unethical. And your life is deteriorating, literally and proverbially, through being around them. So if you are in this unfortunate situation, well, the deal is pretty obvious. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying it's necessary. Cut them loose. For more information and more teachings about persuasion, then get subscribed to my email list. The link to do so is in the episode description wherever you're watching and or listening to this, and I'll see you there.